Hi everyone, Salesforce Admin Training Day 23. Let's see what we are going to learn today. We'll quickly go through the previous session overview and we'll talk about the sharing mechanism and what is manual sharing and what is the requirement. Like we'll see one of the requirements similar to the in real time. Right, so then we will talk about the assignments, then we will talk about the use cases, one of the use case, and then we will see the public group and we'll see the navigation steps to create a public group. Then finally, we'll have a requirement in the public group, then today's interview questions. So what did we learn in last session?
Role hierarchy, OWD, properties of role.
Right. So role hierarchy, properties of roles. And then,
Difference between role and
right,
OWD.
OWD, definition, and what are the navigation steps to OWD. These are the things which we have seen in the last session. Now, today we are going to see the sharing mechanism. Now, why the sharing mechanism came into the picture is, now yesterday we have created a OWD level, we have created a account is private, right? So yesterday I gave a assignment. Now, if you go to the user setup, now if you go to the users, if we go to the users, and yesterday I have given assignment to create a record as a VP, create a record as a VP. What are the role is there? Right, so the roles which we have here is CEO, CTO, CFO, COO, and VP. Now, yesterday assignment is create a record. Sirisha should log in as a Sirisha and create a record. Now, observe that who all can see the record. Now, did anybody created the record? Was there any observation? So what happens if VP creates the record? Okay, so what happens when the VP creates a record? Now, what are the user that is holding the VP? So VP user is whenever they create a record, who all can see? Who all can see if the user creates it? So whenever the user creates, the VP user creates a record, CTO can see the record because the role hierarchy is on top level. And then CTO can see the record. Now assume that if the VP wants to, COO also wants to share the record. COO wants to see the record of VP. Is it possible using the role hierarchy? It is not possible. It is not possible. Now, in that scenario, what we can do is, for example, in the account object, we have an account object. In this account object, we have given a OWD as a private. OWD as a private on the account object. OWD is nothing but sharing settings. Now, if you go to the sharing setting, in the sharing settings, we have given the OWD option as a private. Now, let me show you the. Now, search here sharing settings. go to the sharing settings, and here account is private. Now when we set the private, now what happened? Only the whoever is creating the record, right? So whoever is the user is there, right? Whatever the VP user is created, only the hiring manager, whatever the hiring manager is there, only that hiring manager can see the information. Only the hiring manager of that person can be manager of that person can see the record. But in case if the other members also wants to see the record, in that case, what we will do, we cannot do. So by using the sharing mechanism, what I can do is I can share the record to the anybody. By using the sharing mechanism, we can share the record to anybody. Now for sharing the record, we have when we go to the sharing record. So that means the sharing features are basically used to share the record to the multiple users or a single user or a multiple user. Whenever the OWD is private, on which are the object. Whenever the OWD is a private, and if you want to share the record. Now what is the necessary that we should be sharing the record? Let's assume that we have a different users. Assume that there is a one person who is going for a vacation. When this person is going for a vacation and this user is working on dealing the some requirement, dealing some user or selling something. So when this user is working on some highly escalated issue, suddenly it came yesterday, and from for today onwards, he is on leave. Now, this person cannot be able to solve the record. In that case, what this person does is he will check with another user. Are you available tomorrow? If you are available, can you work on this particular case? And this is the issue. So he has to share the details from the owner, whatever the details he has it, like whatever the record he is holding it. For example, there is a lead record or an opportunity record. He is working on the opportunity record. So from tomorrow onwards, this person is on vacation. The person is not available. But the client, the user says that, can you call me tomorrow so that I can take a decision on whether I'm going to buy a product or not. Now, tomorrow this person is not available. So what this person does, he will share the details to the user too. When they share the records to the verbally, they can share the information, but they need to also share the record. Because when this user two calls this user, he needs to open the opportunity. The opportunity is owned by the user one. The opportunity is owned by the user one. Now let's assume that here we have a record. Yesterday we have created a record in the account. So whenever the what happened? I logged in as June batch. This is the clients. Okay, I don't have anything. So assume that there is a lead or an opportunity. You do not have access to this record. Ask your administrator. Did we change anything on this? I logged in as this person. Now, so let's assume that the person, some user is working on the opportunity. Now let's say that the user is worked by the some like a June batch is the owner of this opportunity. June batch is owner of this opportunity. Now this person is going on a vacation and there is an important call today with the client to take a decision whether the product is they are going to buy it or not. Now this is the owner of it. Now suddenly what will happen is this person is going on vacation. So what this person does is the person has to share this in record with another user. The person has to share the record with another user. Similarly here, CTO is going on a vacation. When CTO is going on a vacation, the person who is siblings are their COO. Now he can share the information to COO and he can inform that can you handle this opportunity or a lead or an account. So as I'm not available, can you take care of this? So he will directly talk to the person. He will verbally talk to the COO and then suddenly the vacation, he is going for a vacation. No, verbally talking does not help. This person has to share the record to this COO. This person has to share the record to the COO. Now, how this person is going to share the record to COO? So, by using the sharing mechanism, they will share by using the sharing feature, they will share the record to the another user. Now, in the sharing mechanism, one of the steps which we have is manual sharing. One of the steps which we have is manual sharing. Now, in the manual sharing, what we have is there are three type of sharing options are available: manual sharing, automated sharing, and the Apex sharing. Manual sharing, automated sharing, Apex sharing. Right now, we are going to see manual sharing. How a single user can share their record to the different user manually. So in manual sharing, we have an option called sharing button. Sharing button. Using this sharing button, I can share or the user can share the record as a read only or a read write. User can share the record to the user too as a read only or a read write. Read only means the user too will have a only read only access. If it is a read write, that means user too can edit the record and update the record. So the level of access is there are two type of access. I can give access to the record that is owned by the user one. He can share the record to the user two, just a read only. That means user two can have just a view. They can only view the record. Read and edit is nothing but read and write is nothing but this person is able to read the record and edit the record which is owned by the user one. Right? So I can share to the single user, I can share it to the multiple user. I can share it to the single user, I can share it to the multiple user. Multiple user, I can select it as well as we can use the public group also. We can by using the public group, we can we can share the record to the multiple users. We will also see the public group. And in the automated sharing is nothing but there is some sharing rule, we will be implementing it. It is not a manual sharing. Automated sharing is not a manual sharing. There is no interaction or there is no button click, nothing is available. So we have to implement some rule at the back end. We have to implement a rule at the back end. So based on the rule, the record gets executed and then it will apply the access to we can apply the read and read write access, we can apply it and I can share it to the single user, multiple user. Also with the help of public group, I can share the multiple user. And the next one is Apex sharing. Using the Apex logic, we can share the record to the multiple users or a single user. Now, these are the different sharing mechanisms. Sharing mechanisms are three types. Sharing mechanisms are three types: manual sharing, automated sharing, Apex sharing. Sharing mechanism is three types: manual sharing, automated sharing, Apex sharing. Level of access for the sharing mechanism is Read only, read write. Take a notes of it. Done? Okay. So now the first thing which we are going to see is manual sharing. How to do the manual sharing to the another user. How can this user one can share the user two, can share the record to user two by using the manual sharing. We will see the first step which is called as a manual sharing. Now in the manual sharing is nothing but user can share the record to the required users. That means which are the user that they wanted to share, they can share it manually with the help of sharing button. Manually with the help of sharing button. Now the sharing button is available on the every object. Sharing button is available on the every object. Let's say here if I'm going to the account. Now in the account I'm clicking on this button. Now we have a sharing button. If you open this, there is an option called sharing. So manual sharing is anybody can share the record, right? Now, whatever the records that is created by you, and in case if the other users are not able to see, and it is required that you have to share the information to the another user. Maybe some vacation or some different reasons, you have to share the record to the another person. Whenever you wanted to share the record to the another person, you can go with the manual sharing. You can go with manual sharing and you can click on the sharing button here. Now by using this sharing button, we can share the records to the single user or a multiple users. You can, by clicking on this button, you can share the record to the single user or a multiple user. Right? So for example, whenever you are sharing the record, now let's go ahead and click on this. Whenever you click on a sharing, now when you click on a sharing, here you will have a client access. This is client access, that is account access, case access, opportunity access. Right now we are in the account. Now, if you want to share this account, what are the options we have? Level of access. The level of access is read only and read write. Read only and read write. Now this case and opportunity, why it is showing? Because the case and opportunity is linked to account. So this is called as a level of access. This is called level of access. Now, the level of access, or we can grant the access to the read only. Read only is nothing but it will grant only the view permissions to the other user on the record. Read write is nothing but it will grant the permissions, view and edit. It will grant the permissions that other user can view the record and they can edit the record. Take a notes of it. Done? Okay. No. So for example, let's see the requirement. The requirement is create an account record by logging in as a CTO user account and share the record to the CFO user. Where is the CTO user? CTO user is here and share the record to the CFO user. Now this is the requirement, right? So the requirement is whatever the user is there. Basically CFO, CTO are siblings. Now by default, whatever the CTO is created, CFO cannot see the record. Cannot see the record because they are siblings. Now in this scenario, what we can do is CTO will create a record and then we'll share the record to the CFO user with read-only access. With read-only access, and this is manually we will be sharing the record. Now this is the requirement. Now let's go ahead and see. Now log in as a CTO. Who is the CTO here? CTO is Virat Kohli. So let's click on refresh. Now here I'll log into the Virat Kohli. Now let's say here I'm going to create a record. Now the record which I'm going to create is, let's say I'll create a Salesforce. Salesforce Help Center. Salesforce Help Center and the rating is warm. Type is, let's say technology partner. Industry is equal to education. Now click on your save. Now this record is created by the Virat Kohli. What is the record here? Salesforce Help Center. Salesforce Help Center. Now I'll log out as a Virat Kohli. And then I'll log in back as a, now I have done with one step which is called as a logging as a CTO user. I have created an account. Now I'll log in as a CFO user. I'll log in as CFO user. Who is the CFO? Nirali Mehta. Right, I'll log in as Nirali. So when I log in as Nirali, let's go to the account. Now let's open the account here, all accounts, all customers. Now I cannot see any record here. I cannot see any record. Whatever the record that is created by this person, whatever the record is created by this person, Virat Kohli, then I cannot see those records also here by logging into the CFO user. Now, what we will do is, now the requirement says that we need to share the details with CFO user because this person is going to share his work to the Nirali Mehta. Now I'll log in again as a Virat Kohli. Now I'll log in as Virat Kohli and let's go to the clients. And the one which we have created is Salesforce Help Center. Salesforce Help Center. Now click on this arrow button and then click on the sharing. Click on sharing. Now here I can search single user or a public group or a role and subordinates. Users are nothing but basically I can search a users. Now who is the user I wanted to share? Virat Kohli want to share the record with Nirali Mehta. Or else if you say that no, I wanted to share this record based on the role. Now the role is, what is the role here? Roles are like CFO, we have CFO. CFO users, I wanted to share this record, right? Role also you can specify. Or else if you say public group, we will see the public group later. And then role and subordinates. Role and subordinates is nothing but whoever is the subordinates are there. Now, if I go to the subordinates, let's say here, let's go to the roles. Now here set up roles. Now here, this is a subordinate. VP is subordinate and this is superior. Now similarly, CTO, CEO, CFO, these three are subordinates and CEO is superior. Now, if I select CTO, if I select a CTO, role and subordinates. Role, this is the role, I'm selecting it, and what are the subordinates are there, right? So all the subordinates is going to get the access. So that is the option which is available inside the, whenever I'm sharing the record, that is the option which is available. Now, if I select here CTO, what will happen? CTO user will get the access as well as VP. Whoever is the VP is there, the VP is also going to get the access because this is the actual role and the subordinates are VP. So that is the role and subordinates. Now, right now I'm going to select only the user. You can select one user, one role, like that also you can select. For example, you are selecting the role first. I'll say here role CFO and then the next one I'm going to select a user. User is Nirali. User is Nirali Mehta. Right, so one is a role and one is a user. You can select multiple options here. You can select multiple options. Right now I'm going with the user. We are going to share the record to the user. And what is the level of access that we need to share? Read-only access. Read-only access. Now, case is automatically showing because there is a relationship that is implemented at the backend. Account and cases are tightly bound at the backend. Now, if I say here read-write, and this is also read-write. So what will happen? Client is read-only, and then case is read-write, and opportunity is read-write. Now it says here shared with one group of user. Shared with one group of user. Click on the edit button. Who is that one group of user? Virat Kohli. Whoever is the record is created, only that person name will be there. Now, right now I'm sharing the record to the Nirali and client is, which is a account access is read only and the case is read write and the opportunity is read write. Now click on save. Now you wanted to see whether it is really shared with Nirali and other users or not. So go to the sharing, go to the sharing. Now here you can see that it is already shared with the two group of users. Already shared with the two group of users. What are those two group of users? Click on the edit button. When you click on the edit button, you can see that, okay, this is the one which we have not created. Nirali Mehta, we have not created. So we will go and check with client who has the person that is implemented this particular logic, right? So based on that, we will give you that client access and case access, opportunity access. Right? There are two records which are attached here. One is a Virat Kohli. Everything is a disabled because we want to just focus on only updating the single record. Updating the single record or where is the passengers are available, updating their records. Right. So click on the save button. Click on save button. So now I'm sharing with the Nirali. Account access is read only and case accounts are read only and opportunity access is read only. Now click on and save. Now once it is saved, I'll log out as a Virat Kohli. And who is the person that I have shared the record? I have shared the record with Nirali. Before, Nirali was not able to see the record that was created by the other user. Whatever the record is created by Virat Kohli, this person is not able to see the record. This person is not able to see the record. Cancel. Where are we now? Click on the switch to lightning. Clients. Okay, we haven't logged in as a Nirali. Click on the login. Okay, so now we have logged in as a Nirali. Before the clients or accounts were showing a blank. Now I can see that there is a one record is shared with this user, Salesforce Help Center. Salesforce Help Center, the record is visible by this user. Why this record is visible? Because other user are shared the record to the this user. That's the reason this person is able to see the record. Right, so there are, let's see the few limitation. It's not a limitation, but just a properties. Let's say here manual sharing is only available in the available on individual records. Manual sharing is only available on individual records. You cannot do, it is not available for all the records. What does that means? If I go to the OR and if I open this record, then only I can see the sharing. Then only I can see the sharing. Now, I logged in as a Nirali, right? Now, what kind of access that we have on the Nirali? Now it is says that read. If I try to edit, click on a save. What it is saying that you do not have a permission privileges to edit the record. See your administrator. Cancel. But it is still showing the pencil icon. Why this pencil icon is shown? Because at the profile level, we have specified for this user, whatever the profile is assigned to this user, that profile is having a edit access. That profile is having the edit access. So that's the reason they can see here inline editing. That's the reason we can see here inline editing. But if you try to edit and update some information, so what will happen is immediately you see end problem. Immediately you see the problem, you do not have a necessary privileges to edit the record. So profile is basically what users can do. But if the OWD or if the sharing mechanism says that share the read only or read edit, right? So when we have a read only or a read edit, assume that on the profile level, the profile object level, it is given as a edit. But the record level, you have just given the read access. When you have given the read access, then it should automatically inform you that it's a read only and object level we do not have a access. Object level we do not have a access. So that is what it is trying to explain it here. Now, not only the edit. Now I cannot even delete this record. Now, if I try to delete this record, what will happen? It is going to say that there is a problem saving the record. You might not have the permissions because Nirali has only read-only access. Only read-only access. It does not have a edit access. It does not have edit access. Only the read-only access. Let's say, for example, now I'll log out as a Nirali. I'll log out as a Nirali and then log in back as a Virat Kohli. I'll log in as Virat Kohli. Now here we have a client. In the client, I'll just open the record that we have created right now, Salesforce Help Center. Now in this record level, we have a sharing option. Click on this sharing option. Now I will say here read write. Read write. Now where is the sharing option is available? On the single record. On the single record, the option is available. It's not available on the main object. Right? The object which is the whatever is there, the object which is available. Right? So what are the object? Now let's say here I logged in as a Virat Kohli. Click on this Salesforce Help Center. Now I'll say here click on edit and I have already given the access sharing. Click on the sharing button. And here I'll say that it says two group of users. Two group of users. Click on the edit button. Now Nirali is already there, but only the thing is that it is a read-only access. Now I have given the read-write access. I have given the read-write access. So once it is read-write access is given, that means I can go back and cross-verify what is the level of access that Nirali has. Read and write access. Let's say I'm going to log out from this session. So click on a logout and let's log in back as Nirali. Log in back as Nirali. Now let's refresh. Let's refresh. It's taking a lot of time. Now here, let's say, now I have logged in as Nirali. Let's go to the Salesforce Help Center. Now I can see the edit button. Now I can see the edit button, delete button. Now if I go ahead and edit the detail, let's say that I'm going to add some information. Let's say I'm going to add, right? I'm going to add the information. Let's say annual revenue. Annual revenue. I'm going to add the value here. Click on a save. When I click on a save, it is working perfectly fine for the Nirali. Also, Nirali can delete this record. The flexibility is there to delete the record. When we delete it, what will happen? At the back end, there is a one flag. There is a one flag which is called as a is deleted. Is deleted. If the is deleted equal to true, the is deleted is equal to true, that means it is deleted the record. That means it is deleted the record. If I try to delete this record, are you sure you wanted to delete the client record? If I say delete, then it is going to delete the record by updating the is deleted equal to true at the back end. Now for now, I'm not deleting it. Click on the logout. Now, manual sharing is available on the single record. Manual sharing is available on the single record. You have to open the record and then only you can see the manual sharing. On all the objects, all the records, you will not be able to see the manual sharing button. Now whatever this is there, manual sharing, this is only applicable. It is only applicable on records that have a private or a public. Records that have public or private. So basically you have a public read only. Public read only. Public read only. It is available either for the public or for the private. So read only access. Whenever you have a read only, whenever you have a public or a private, read only access on OWD. Access on OWD. So whenever on the OWD you have a public or a private, then only you will be able to apply the manual sharing. Apart from this, if you take any other, you will not be able to apply. Right, these are the two main properties for the manual sharing. Properties of manual sharing. And this is the second one. On OWD. Take a notes of it. Done. Taken the notes of it. Now let's move on. The next one is an assignment. So assignment 1, create a role hierarchy. Yesterday also I have given this role hierarchy. Is anybody implemented the role hierarchy? CEO, CFO, COO, CTO, VP? Yesterday or day before yesterday I have created. Okay, now did you assign this CTO, CEO to the Salesforce license user? So you need to assign CTO and CEO to the Salesforce license user, and then you need to assign the CFO, COO, CTO to the Salesforce platform license. These three for the Salesforce platform license, and this is for the Salesforce license, this is for the Salesforce license. So that is the assignment one. If anybody has not done, complete this assignment. And the next assignment is assignment 2. Update the OWD setting to the account to private. Update the OWD setting account to the private. And create a opportunity record by logging into the CTO user. By logging into the CTO user, create a opportunity record. Now log in as a CFO user and COO should not be able to see the opportunity record that is created by the CTO user. You should not be able to see the records that is created by the CTO user. You have a 2 Salesforce license, sales license. One is you already using it. Another one you assign it to the CTO. So there are 2 licenses. If you already have a license, which is you have created the user for the sales license, just assign the role to that user. Here, there are 2 sales licenses are there. One is with you. Another one, you should be creating a user and assign the role, CTO role to that Salesforce license. Now the question here is, whatever the Salesforce platform license is there, whatever the Salesforce platform license is there, if you log in as a Salesforce platform license, then if it is a Salesforce platform license, if you log in as a Salesforce platform license, are you able to see the opportunity or not, opportunity object or not? So just observe that and let me know tomorrow whether you are able to see the records of the opportunity or not. Say, no, I'm saying here, let me go. Now this is company information. Company information. Now we have a company information here. So inside this company information, what are the 2 licenses that you have? Salesforce licenses too you have, right? Which you have already used it. You have already created the users with the Salesforce license. One is a Tata sales admin, another one is a system admin. Right, so everybody should be having a 2 license because everybody is using the developer edition. So there is a one which is already occupied with the system administrator. So Tata sales admin, did you guys create it? Profile Tata sales admin.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
What is the license that is applied for the Tata sales admin?
Salesforce.
Salesforce license, right? So
Yes.
this user, whatever you have created, this user is a Salesforce license user.
Yes.
And system admin is another license user.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the requirement which I'm saying here is you need to assign the CTO and CEO to the Salesforce license. There is one is a Tata sales admin profile you have created, right? So that is a Salesforce license. You need to assign that user to CTO. And another Salesforce license, which you are owning it, which is a system administrator. So you need to assign that user to this role. And then Salesforce platform licenses are CFO, COO, and CTO. Clear?
For BP also, we have to assign the Salesforce, standard platform is which one?
Yeah, you can assign standard Salesforce platform license user and observe that in the second assignment, observe that for the Salesforce platform license user, what are the objects that are visible? Are you able to see opportunity object, first of all? So we need an observation for the assignment too. And the assignment 3 is update the OWD setting, account is private, and create an opportunity record by logging into the CTO user and log in as COO. This is same. Now you should not be able to see the opportunity record. Now share the record with whatever the record is created by this user, right? So when this user is created, the CTO user is creating the record, share that record to the CFO and COO. Now there is something which is weird in this assignment. Now I wanted to know from you guys. So I'll not give the right assignment always. This is something weird and something wrong in this assignment. Now you guys have to tell me that what is that wrong. Now this is the assignment.
Ma'am, only in that we can able to see only accounts and contact object and account brief object.
Right. So are you able to see the opportunity object?
No, ma'am.
Is everybody agree with that? Anybody says that we are able to see the
Madam.
opportunity?
Yes, madam.
What is yes? Are we going to see the opportunities or no?
Opportunity is only account and contact are visible.
Okay, others? Others? Are we able to see the opportunity by logging in as a Salesforce platform license? We cannot see the Salesforce platform license. Right? So this assignment does not work. So what you have to do is you need to create instead of an opportunity record, you need to create the account. So initially here I have mentioned the create a opportunity. So what you need to do is create a account record. Create a account record. So this assignment does not work. So you need to create a account record by logging in as a CTO user. Now that record should not be visible by the siblings. They should not be seeing the record. Now finally you need to share, manual sharing has to be done here. So CTO has to share the record to the CFO and COO. CFO and COO, then other users should be able to see the record. So this is the actual assignment. Take a notes of it. Auntie Nagudera. Auntie Tita.
Ma'am, I have a doubt in 21 session, ma'am, actually.
We'll see that later. We have not yet completed the session. Now, is it done? Now, let's move on to the next one, assignment 4. No, assignment 4 we have already discussed. Now let's see the use case. Now the use case is, let's assume that right now what we are doing is, now here we are sharing the record to the single user. I logged in as a Virat Kohli. I logged in as Virat Kohli and I have shared the record to the single user. I have shared the record to the single user. But I can also share the record to the multiple users. I can also share the records to the multiple users. Let's assume that here Salesforce Help Center. In the Salesforce Help Center, if I click on this sharing button, now what we are doing here, I have already shared with a single user. Now I can select multiple users. I can select at a time, I can select multiple users. For example, here Nirali Mehta. And also I can select Rangaswamy. Another user we have a Rangaswamy. Now, what is the level of access we are giving the read-only and private? Click on save. Click on save. Now here we are sharing the record. Click on the sharing button and I can see the 3 group of people. That means who all can see the record. Nirali will have a read-only access. Rangaswamy also will have a read-only access. Right? This is how I can share the single user or a multiple user with a manual step. Assume that in the real time scenario, let's talk about the use case. In real time, there are some thousands of records will be there. Now, these thousands of records, when we are working on a thousands of records, right? Or when the client is working on a thousands of records, what will happen here? Now the record 1, record 2, record 3. Now record 1, I have to share with the different users. Assume that in the client, the real-time org, we will have assume that there is 100 users are there or 50 users are there. 50 users are there. Now, as per the requirement, record 1, I have to share with user 1, user 3, user 7, user 9, user 10, 12, 15, 21, 27, 32, 47. These are the users I need to share the record. These are the users I need to share the record. And whereas second one, record 2. Record 2, I need to share with different user. Record 2, I need to share with different user. That user is different. User 2, user 4, user 8, user 11. Right? So these are the different users we have. Now tomorrow another record gets created. Now it is so difficult for anybody, whoever is working on this assignment part of it, the client side admin. Now they cannot remember all the users. They cannot remember all the users, right? Now it is so difficult to remember. Next time, like after 1 month, if there is a record is created and that record is need to be shared with manually to the another users. Now, I might forget to share few of the users. Or else I need to note down this list somewhere. I need to note down that list somewhere. And every time whenever we have to share the record, I need to open that notepad and check that what is the condition, which user do I need to share it. That is manual effort. Lot of manual effort and time consuming. Instead of this, sharing the multiple users, what we can do is we can create a group. We can combine all the users and create a group to them. That means whatever the users we have to share, all the users, I'll put it into the public group. All the users, I'll be putting into the public group. So what will happen tomorrow if I have to share the record, I can simply select the public group. It is similar to the WhatsApp group. Now, if you want to send a message to the to the members, now in that case, what will happen? You have to share a message to the each member. Assume that you have a family members, you have to share some message to the family members. Everybody you have to ping separately. If you create a group of the family members, then what will happen if you send single message, everybody will receive the message. So similarly here, if I select a public group, now whenever I wanted to share the record, I can simply select the public group. Whoever is the part of the public group, everybody will receive the email. No, this is the whole concept where the public group is came into the picture. Now, in the sharing concept, whenever we are sharing the record by using the button, so far we have seen sharing the record to the single user or a multiple user. Now, if you have a multiple users, more than 3 users or 4 users, better to create a public group. Using the public group, you can share the records to the multiple users. Now, when we say public group, now let's understand what is the public group here. Public group is nothing but while sharing the record. Now I'm sharing the record here. Manual sharing, I'm sharing the record. When we are sharing the record to the multiple users, instead of selection of each user, instead of selecting the each user separately, what we can do is we can add them into the group and create a group, and we can share the record to that group, which is called as a public group, which is called as a public group. Now, public group contains the users. Public group contains the users as well as the group. Now, that means I have a list of users. Now, there is a list of users are there. Now, we have a users list here. User 1, user 2, user 3, user 4. This list is there. Now, this entire list I am putting into the public group. This entire list I am putting into the public group. Now, again, this group can be the subgroup of another public group. That means public group can contain the users as well as it can contain the subgroup. That means this is the parent group, this is the child group. It could have a public group can have a users, like this is the public group. Public group is possible that it can have a user. It is possible that it can have another public group here. Another public group can have it. So multiple public groups or multiple users can be available within the single public group. Now, while sharing the record, now whenever you are sharing the record, we can share the record to the public group. Whether it has a sub-public group or whether it has a multiple user, doesn't matter. We can share it to the public group. Now, public group will make the record to be visible to all the group members automatically. To all the members automatically. Now, let's say that we can create a couple of notes, we can create a one or more public group instead of inside the organization. We can create one or more public group inside the organization. And also all the public group members information will be resides inside the group object or a group member object. There is an object called group member. Now you cannot see the group or a group member here. Now if you go to the object manager, in the object manager, you have a group. Now if you search here group, you cannot see the object. You cannot see the object which is called as a group. We cannot see the object as a group, right? So group and group members you cannot see on the object manager. So if you want to see the group object, what you need to do, you need to go to the developer console. Now, how do you go to the developer console? Click on the setup and then click on the developer console. Click on the developer console. If you click on the developer console, it will open up the window which is called as a developer console window. Now here, click on the file, open. File, open and click on here objects. Now search here group. Search the group. You have a group and group members. If you open the group, now this is select this information, right? So we will see this information whenever we are working on the Apex class side, right? But whenever you wanted to see some hidden objects, what you need to do is click on the setup, go to the developer console, and in the developer console, click on the file open, and then click on the objects. In the objects, just search here which are the object you wanted to search it. You are searching the object group or group number. If you click on the group number, now here you have a ID, group ID, user ID, and then it is a query. Now here we have a total rows are 0 because we do not have any records. Now I'm going to create a record, then we will see this query. So group members is the one which is going to store the public group information. Public group information. Now a user can be part of the multiple groups. A user can be part of the multiple groups. Now if the user is already part of the one public group, if user is already part of the one public group, the possibility is there the user can be part of multiple group. User can be part of multiple groups. Similarly, like a WhatsApp group, if I am already part of one group, possible that I am also already part of another group. So there is no restriction that if the user is already part of this public group 1, we cannot add it to the public group 2. There is no restriction on this. You can add a user here, the same user you can add it into the another public group. And there is no limitations on the, no limitations on the public group. You can create as many as, public groups. You can create as many as public groups. So no limitations on this. Take a notes of it. Done. Okay. Now let's see the navigation steps to create a public group. Navigation steps are set up, search for a public group. Search for public group and click on a new button and enter the public group label and the name. Now let me go ahead and show you that. Setup and then search for a public group here. Search for public group. Now click on this public group. Click on this public group. Now here you cannot see any new button. The reason is Are we logged in as any user? Yes, we are logged in as Virat Kohli. Let's log out this. So here click on the login. Now let's say public group. Now we have a new button. Click on this new button. Now the first thing is we have a label and group name. Now group label and a name, you need to specify the label. Name is automatically captured. Name is automatically captured. And the next one which we have is grant access using the hierarchy. Whenever you are assigning, whenever you are sharing the record manually to the another user, now if you want enable or if you want to enable the role hierarchy part of it. So whatever the user, if I assign it, if the user is at the high level, then only share the record. Then if you want based on the role hierarchy, if you want to share the record, then you can select this grant access using the hierarchy. Grant access using the hierarchy, you can select it. And the next one, you have a add users to the group by using the add or remove buttons. Now here, the one which we have is users. Now, if you search here users, you can see all the users list here. Either you can add the user or remove the user, whatever the users you want, you can assign it. Now, let's say here roles. Roles also I can assign it, right? So here is selected members. This is the available members. Similarly, if you want a role and subordinate, if you want role and subordinate, you can select the role and subordinate. Similarly, if you want to select any other public group, we are already creating a public group. Within the public group, if you want to include another public group, then you can select public group here. Let's assume that right now we are going to select a users. Now you can select a users and switch to the users here. And bottom we have add a delegated administrator user. Add delegated administration groups. Now delegated administration groups are, now there is some option which is available is delegated. There is some option which is available is delegated administrator. So this delegated administration is nothing but, for example, in the Salesforce, there are so many members are part of it, right? So client side, there are so many admin members are there. Out of those admin members, or there are a few different members are there, they do not have a complete access to the Salesforce, but they have a access to the Salesforce org. Now we wanted to give certain access. We wanted to give certain access to those users which are similar to the admin access. They are not the admin access, but we wanted to give, we can choose the few users where we can give the administration access. I need not to change the profile to give the administration, but I can create a delegated administrator. By using the delegated administration, what we can do is, though they are in a different profile, but I can still give the access to admin access to them. For example, let's say here I'm giving the additional admin access. Additional admin access, click on a save. Now when I say I'm creating the additional admin access, right here we have a delegated administrator or a user administrator. Now if I click on a delegated administration, I can choose the users. I can choose the users. Let's assume that the Nirali Mehta is, assume that they do not have a complete access similar to the admin access. So right now I'm selecting the Nirali Mehta, where I'll be providing the certain level of admin access to those users. And if you want to add a roles, you can add a roles, or if you wanted to add a profile, you can add a profile, like all the CEO roles or all the COO roles. I wanted to add it to all the COO roles whoever is the users that have a COO role should have a admin access, certain level of admin access they should have. So in case if we wanted to give a additional access, so let's take an example, like I'm working in the company. In the company, there is a IT members are there or some admin members are there, right? So when the IT members, they are completely dedicated to the IT. But certain point of time, I need to give a additional access to the other security. I need to give other security access. Sometime I need to give it. Whenever that requirement is there, what we will do is certain period of time, we will create a record which is called as a delegated administrator, and we will provide those security access to those users so that like a password reset, right? So password reset this users can do whenever the admin is not available. So that time this person can work on the password reset, session activations, or anything related to the IP address or login IP address, these persons can do. So those are the called as a delegated administrator. Now if I refresh here, I can see those delegated administrator here. Now in the public group, now below I can see additional admin. But in the real time, we do not assign the public group to the delegated groups. We will not assign the public groups. Delegated admin is not a part of the public group. If there is no requirement, it doesn't say that I need to assign it to the public group, right? So these are the options which are available whenever you are creating a public group. You need to specify the label, you need to specify the group name, and which users or which role or which public group or role and subordinate, which members do you wanted to assign the users or assign the roles to part of this public group. Whatever the public group you are creating it, do you want to be this user to be part of this public group, or do you want this role to be part of this public group, or do you want the another public group is part of this public group? So that's what we will create a public group here, right? So let's say the requirement. Let's say the requirement. Now the requirement says, now I have 100 records are there. I have 100 records. Now I have to create a public group. Assume that the requirement is we are getting the records. That means there is a issues are raised by the certain customers. We have a customers from different places. Customers are from Hyderabad, customers are from Mumbai, customers are Bangalore. Now, whenever the customers are raised a certain issues, now whenever they are raising the issues, if the issue is raised by the Hyderabad members or Hyderabad customer, then I need to assign the record to the Hyderabad sales team. If the record is created by the Bangalore customers, then I need to assign the record to the Bangalore sales group. If we have created the requirement from the Mumbai sales group, then we have to assign the record to the Mumbai sales group. Now this is the scenario, right? Now what I need to do, I need to create a public group. Let's say I'm going to create a public group. The requirement is configure a public group, Hyderabad sales group, by adding the Nirali Mehta user and Rangaswamy user to the group of the members. That means I need to create a group which is called as a Hyderabad sales group. And in this Hyderabad sales group, I need to add it two users. What is that user? One is a Nirali Mehta user and second one is Rangaswamy user. These two users, I need to add it into the public group. Now let's go here. Now I'm going to create a public group, Hyderabad sales group, Hyderabad sales group. Now here we have a users. Now click on the users. I'm going to select the user Nirali Mehta and then run this form. Now if you want to select a multiple users, you can select it. Just hit the control key and then select the second user. Hit the control key and then select the second record, and at a time you can move it to the selected members. Now click on just, let me remove this role hierarchy and then click on the save button. So managers of the group members will not have access to the record shared with the group unless they have the access to the other views. Are you sure you want to this is just a confirmation email. Now, if you want, click on the OK button. If you want, click on the OK button. Now we have a Hyderabad sales group. Now in this Hyderabad sales group, we have to create a Hirali Mehta and Rangaswamy. Now these two users are part of this Hyderabad group. These two users are part of the Hyderabad group. Now if I log in as a Virat Kohli and log in as Virat Kohli, now I will share the record which is created by Virat Kohli, which is Salesforce Help Center. Salesforce Help Center. Now I'll click on this sharing button. Now edit, let's click on edit. I'll remove the Nirali Mehta, I'll remove the Rangaswamy. Now here I'm going to select the public group. The public group which we have created is Hyderabad Sales Group. And then I'll click on a save. What will happen? Record shared the data for the Hyderabad Sales Group was created. That means two members are, now let me share here. Let me click on the sharing button. One is Virat Kohli, whoever is a user is there, that user is created by user, that is a user. And second one is Hyderabad Sales Group. Now who is part of this Hyderabad Sales Group? Nirali and Rangaswamy. So what I'll do is I'll log out as a Virat Kohli and then log in as a Rangaswamy. If I log in as a Rangaswamy, I should be able to see the record that is shared by the Virat Kohli. Now let's log in as Rangaswamy. Click on this. Switch to the lightning. Now let's go to the client. Now if I click on this all customers, now you can see that Salesforce Help Center. They can see the details. Now if you want to see more details, who has like this person will have able to see the record. This is a read only. If they try to edit it, it will not save the record because they do not have a edit access. Though the profile level I have a edit access, but manual sharing is going to override. Manual sharing is going to override. So profile level, I have a object level, read and create, edit, all the permissions are there at the profile level. At the profile level, I have a read, create, everything is available. But what will happen if the sharing is done? If there is a manual sharing is happening, now manual sharing is going to override the profile access. The sharing is override the profile access. Whatever the sharing level access is there, that's exactly the applied. If the sharing level it says read, then it will delete the profile level and there is only the read access will be there. But the whatever the view is there, view it says that profile level view. Profile level view, this is for the single record. If the record is created by the same person, you can edit and modify it. But if the record is shared by the another user, then profile level sharing does not work. Profile level sharing does not work if the record is shared by another user. If the record is created by this person, let's say that if the record is created by this person, now creating the record, now let's say here I'm creating the Rangaswamy. If this person is creating the record, now, and if I try to edit this record, let's say I'm updating the rating here, let's say rating equal to 1. Click on save. Now here we have the person is able to edit the record. The person is able to edit the record. So if the record is created by the same person, the record gets edited, modified, deleted, everything can be happen. Why they can able to do it? Here 3 sharing rules are applied here. What are those 3 sharing rules? The first one is OWD is private. OWD is private. That means whoever the users are created. Now profile is in the profile level, object level. Object level, we have the object level. We are giving the read, create, edit, delete, what are the permissions are there, we are giving it. Right? OWD is private. So that's the reason. Now, first of all, profile. Profile is at the bottom. Profile, I have a access, read and read, create, everything is available. Now the person is able to create the record, edit the record, but which record they are able to edit? OWD is here, it is a private. OWD is private. Now when the OWD is a private, they can only create a record, whatever the record is created by themselves, only that record they can read, they can edit, they can create, right? They can edit or delete, whatever the options are available at the profile level, they can apply. Now, if the record is shared by another person, if the record is shared by another person, if the record is shared by another person, like for example, I am sharing the record. Now here I have a role hierarchy. Here I have a role hierarchy, and using the role hierarchy, we are already sharing the record without a manual sharing. Based on the role hierarchy, if the record is created by anyone and the manager can see the record based on the role hierarchy. Now on top of it, what we are doing is we are applying the manual sharing for the record. We are applying the manual sharing. Now when I apply the manual sharing, what will happen? This manual sharing, it doesn't care what is the access that is available at the profile level. It doesn't care what is the level of the access that is available at the profile level. So whenever you share the record, the person can level of access in the manual sharing, whenever you are sharing the record, whatever the level of access is there, that level of access is going to decide whoever we are going to share the record, whether that person is able to read the record or whether the person is able to read and edit the record is decided in the level of access. This does not look at what is the profile level access is there. It will override the profile level access and then share the record. Till this point, everybody is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, right now the record is shared to the Hyderabad sales group, right? When it is shared to Hyderabad sales group, automatically the Rangaswamy is able to see the record of the created, whoever is created, the Virat Kohli is created record, Rangaswamy is able to see the record because Rangaswamy is part of the Hyderabad sales group. Rangaswamy is part of the Hyderabad sales group. So that's the reason we are able to, the person is able to see the record, right? Now here, let's say that this is what we have done. Now Virat Kohli is created the record and shared to the Hyderabad sales group. When we share to the Hyderabad sales group, whoever is the part of the users are there, all the users will get the access to this record. Now while sharing whatever the Virat Kohli mentioned, whether the read or read write, so the same access will be retrieved even to these users. Now, final overview on this. Now, we have seen profile, user, role, and permission set group, right? OWD. And then we have a manual sharing we have seen. Now, what is the profile can do here? What user can do? What user can do is decided in the profile. What is the user? It's basically login access. If they wanted to access the Salesforce, they can see, they have to create a user. Now, what is the role? What is the role?
CFO.
What is the records that can be visible of the record. Profile is at the object level, object fields level. This is record level. Permission set to extend the profile, access. This is also at the object level or fields level. Right? The another one which we have seen is license. What is license? What is license?
Okay.
What functionality is accessed by the user? Is decided in the license. Now, OWD is basically it will decide what is the OWD?
This is overall org-wide default systems.
Have access to records inside the organization.
OWD is not a role hierarchy. What is OWD?
Indicate the level of access inside the organization.
Records should be visible to whom inside the organization.
It decide the access to the records inside the organization.
OWD decides
Which
Which
record should
record
be visible?
which record. So role and OWD both will be decided which record. This is also visible of the records. Now, combination of these three. The combination of these all. Now, visible is of the record. Now, this is at the object level. This is at the object level. Now, object level is totally fine, but it is very important at the record level because clients will work on the record level. Clients will work on the record level. So when they work on the record level, they need to know that whether they are able to see the record of the other person or not. Usually in the real time, we will restrict the visibility of the other person. Whatever the user is created, whatever the another user is created the record, we will not share with another user. Basically, whoever is handling the records, only that person will be able to see the record. Other person cannot see the records. So visible of the records is very important in the real time. So where we are going to handle OWD and the role hierarchy, definitely profile and permission sets are there. Profile and permission set, that is overall at the object level. Now, when we are restricting at the OWD level, visible of the records, then the point which will come here is sharing rule concept. Then you have a concept called sharing rule. Sharing rule concept. In the sharing rule, we have a different ways of sharing. One is a manual sharing. So manual sharing, the sharing rule concept will come into the picture, which is called as a manual sharing. Now here in the manual sharing, we are going to decide it whether should I need to share the record so that another user is able to see the record or not. So that another user is able to see the record or not. Take a notes of it. Done? Interview questions. So the interview questions are: what does role hierarchy? What does role hierarchy do? What is OWD? If OWD is private. If OWD is private for single object, then what will happen? What are the different type of sharing mechanism? What is manual sharing? What are the properties of manual sharing? What is public group? Navigation steps to. What are the navigation steps? Steps to create public group. Which object contains public group records? Now, right now we have created the public group, right? So if I go to the developer console, so let's open the developer console, setup developer console. Now if I create here file, open, object, now let's search here group. Search here group. Group members, open, ID, group ID, user, click on the query, now execute it. Now we have these records are created. Before it was 0. Now it is created. The 2 users are part of this group. 2 users are part of this group. Right? Now if you 2 users are part of this group ID is same. Both the group IDs are same. Now here these are the 2 users. So these 2 users are part of this group. So group members is contains the public group records. What are the limitations of public group? What are the properties of public group? What are the properties of public group? These are the interview questions, note down. Then I'm going to ping you the trial head links. Few links are might be the same as previous.